If you've been scrolling through endless CNC routers, watching video after video and still feeling like you can't tell which machine actually delivers on the promises, this review is here to cut through the noise. I've spent the last few weeks setting up the FoxAlien Masuter 3S from scratch, running a handful of wood, acrylic, and even a soft metal project to see where it really shines and where it might leave you frustrated. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Let's walk through what you can expect when you bring this machine into your workshop and why it might be the right or wrong choice for you. First off, the biggest question most newcomers ask is whether a closed-loop CNC router is worth the extra cost compared to a basic open-loop setup. The Masuter 3S uses NEMA 2376 closed-loop stepper motors. In plain English, that means the motors constantly monitor their own position and self-correct any missed steps. For most hobbyists, especially those who run long continuous cuts or intricate engraving jobs, this translates into fewer ghost cuts and a lower chance of a ruined piece midway through a run. In my testing, the machine held its position perfectly even when I forced a sudden change in speed, something an open-loop system would typically stumble over. The frame is built from 2,360 mm extrusions, a size you'll see on many industrial-grade machines. The rigidity is noticeable the moment you tighten the bolts on the corners. When carving an inch pine board with a tight-fit lettering design, the machine didn't vibrate enough to blur the edges, and the resulting cuts were crisp. That level of stability is a practical strength if you plan to work on larger panels or want to keep tolerances tight for things like puzzles or interlocking parts. Now, let's talk about the spindle. A 400-watt spindle is paired with the kit, which is more power than you see on entry-level routers. It can cut through soft metals like aluminum or brass, but don't expect it to punch through hardened steel. When I tried cutting a 1 mm sheet of brass, the spindle held a steady pace and produced clean lines, but at a slower feed rate than wood. The key takeaway is that you do get a bit of flexibility. Wood, acrylic, and soft metal are all within reach, so the Masuter 3S can serve as a multi-material workstation if you're willing to tweak speeds and bits for each material. The FoxAlien 40W engraving module is a separate add-on that boasts a light beam compression technology. In practice, this means the module uses a high-intensity laser-like beam to etch fine details onto surfaces. The claim is that it works on a range of matte, likely short for matte, materials, which includes things like polished wood, certain plastics, and even some laminated composites. I tested it on a glossy acrylic sheet and a brushed oak veneer. On the acrylic, the engraving was sharp and consistent, making it suitable for creating signage or decorative panels. On the oak veneer, the beam left a subtle but clean etch, perfect for branding or adding a logo without deep cutting. Because it's a low-power module, safety is less of a concern than high-power laser cutters, but you still need proper ventilation and eye protection. Who should consider buying the Masuter 3S? If you're a small business owner who needs to produce small batches of customized wooden signs, acrylic parts, or simple metal components, the closed-loop motors and sturdy frame give you reliability that translates directly into less waste. Likewise, serious hobbyists who have outgrown a basic CNC kit but aren't ready to invest in a full-size industrial router will find the balance of power and precision appealing. The machine also shines for educators who want a versatile tool for teaching CNC fundamentals without the risk of stepper slippage derailing a class project. Who might want to skip it? If your primary focus is only on hobby-level woodworking, think occasional hobby projects or simple 2D engraving, there are cheaper open-loop kits that get the job done. The Masuter 3S also isn't the best fit for anyone looking to plunge into heavy metal fabrication. The spindle's 400-watt rating caps the thickness of material you can realistically work with, and you'll quickly run into limitations if you need to cut thicker aluminum or steel. Additionally, if you're looking for a plug-and-play solution with minimal assembly, be prepared to spend a few evenings tightening bolts and calibrating the closed-loop system. The manual is decent, but there's a learning curve to get the motor feedback tuned correctly. A practical weakness shows up when you try to push the machine's speed beyond its comfort zone. The controller firmware, while functional, lacks the advanced feed rate optimization you'd find in higher-end CNC controllers. When I cranked the feed speed up to the maximum recommended for wood, the motor started to sing a little inaudible hum that signals it's working harder to keep up. The result was a slightly rougher surface finish, something you can mitigate by slowing the feed or adjusting the acceleration settings. It's not a deal breaker, but it does mean you'll need to spend time dialing in the right parameters for each material. Another point too.